Tonight we are all here for the Ohr HaChaim dinner of tribute, paying tribute to our good and dear friend, Rabbi Benjy Katz. When I think about Benjy, the first word that comes to my mind is friend, and how he befriended me before I had an opportunity to reach out to him. He beat me to the punch. First time he came into the shul, that fella, larger than life in so many ways, and he came over to me and he said, "Thank you." Thanking me. I said, "Thank you for what? I didn't do anything." "No, just thank you." And from that moment, a bond, a friendship, a kinship, an ahava, a yedidus was created.
My son and my husband, Benjy, alav shalom, really fell in love with the shul, with the people, how they welcomed them as new members, new people in the community. Rabbi Weiss and my husband, alav shalom, really clicked right away, and Rebbetzin Brenda invited us the following Shabbos to come. My greatest hakaras hatov, that what Rabbi Weiss has done for my children and I in the time of sorrow when we had to set shiva and we had to arrange the funeral. I want to say thank you to everyone, to all the Rabbeim, to all the principals, to the teachers.
When I think of Benjy, I think of a kind word, a smile, a geschmackige Shabbos.
A remarkable person, a remarkable legacy. When you ask for one word about a person like that, come up with the word anivas, an anav. Remarkable. So many hidden things that happened in Baltimore through his generosity, and of course, with Debbie's unbelievable help.
The toiv hamalbim shinaim l'chaveiro yotza mimashkei v'chola. Someone who smiles to his friend and shows him the whites of his teeth with a big smile, he's doing more from him than if he gives him a cup of milk to drink. That was Benjy. He was such a pleasant person, and that's really what struck me about him. Now I understand that he didn't just smile, he helped people also. Especially Mrs. Katz. She was outstanding in the way that she helped people that I know about in the teachers' Beis Yaakov and in general. So it must be a trait in the family. But the Benjy, like, he was such a pleasant person. It made a tremendous impression on me.
He was the humblest person around. He used to walk in quiet, leave quiet, never took any credit for himself. You thank him for anything, it's not me, it's not me. It's all Debbie, all Debbie's credits.
Benjy was totally dedicated to his family and to his wife. He was so proud. He told me many times how proud he was of Debbie's accomplishments and what Debbie did for the whole community.
Anybody that knew Benjy knew that he was just an incredibly big person with a huge heart. Everything was thank you, everything was appreciation. He appreciated people, he thanked people, he loved everybody.
Whoever he spoke to, whether it would be a big gadol or if it was just a little kid or anyone in between, he spoke to them literally like they felt so comfortable. He was able to relate to anybody.
His smile and his warmkeit is something that I will never forget. I learned so much about Benjy after the Petira. I learned how he had two smiches and how he was such a tamimistic and a silent tzaddik.
Danielle Sar and I, with our kids, were in Silver Spring area for a Shabbos a number of years ago. And this simcha, we said we need to find some really good people to be at. So we called the Nymans and said, where should we go? They said, we have the most unbelievable couple, do so much chesed in the Washington area. You can stay at their house. What they gave us that Shabbos, such warmth, such love, as if we had known them for 30 years.
Benjy's dedication to his parents was a phenomena. How we talked about his father, not only about his father's chazonis, but about his father's activity for Kehillah, his activity for the Tzibur. his care for his mother. He dedicated years of his life taking care of his mother along with his sister. Benjy really is a malamed to us and a teacher to us in what it means, kibbud av v'eim, and what it means to be a father, a husband, a member of a kehillah.
When I dated Benjy, I saw a midah that he had, that he practiced our entire marriage life, which is kabez esavicha ve'esimecha. Benjy respected, honored, and was there for his mother 24/7.
My father had so much kibbud av v'eim that on Shabbosim, he used to walk from Camp Mel to Washington, D.C., where my savta lived. You know how long the walk is? 2 or 3 hours.
I remember even the way he looked at his children, and from afar he would give them a certain type of kiss.
Benjy and Debbie set a phenomenal example of the way parents should be. The doting that Benjy had on his children, calling the teachers Rabbi, I mean, that was known universally. You know, just so in tune and so in touch in the lives of his children. And a person who's like that, it speaks volumes about their character.
One way to describe my father was that he was devoted and he would leave anything to help his children. My Abba was the best.
We used to spend time with not only with Debbie but also with Benjy. We were there at the games, and he would be there following Shuli and subtly cheering on Shuli. It meant so much to him, especially to be there at those games and to be there to encourage him and to be able to offer him pointers and to be able to cheer him on, and just mostly to watch him and to always want to be there with him.
Benjy Katz has set a new standard for what it means to be a father. And his love for Shuli and Adina, his concern that they get everything that they need, was apparent in everything that he did. He's tremendously missed by us, but we know that he is continuing to move and to create for Shuli and for Adina, and of course for his dear wife, Debbie.
Hashem, we got married, and Hashem blessed us with 2 wonderful children that continue every day to follow his legacy, the legacy that he believed that not to be part of a clique, not to acknowledge people for the wrong reasons.
Being with him, watching him, and I would speak to him about anything. And so just from that, I learned so much, and truth is, you can never really die if your legacy continues. And I'm blessed that he forgave his legacy to me, was about v'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, humility, and living a life of Torah.
Shuli and Adina, that even though your father's not here in this world, but the truth is, he's able to accomplish much more upstairs than he's able down here. He has you, and that was his life, and it's still his life. The way you live your life, Shuli and Adina, how you continue living your life, it brings a tremendous kibbud to him.
We should learn from him that it's very important to greet every person with a smile on the face, an earnest smile, a smile that really means that you care for your neighbor.
Tonight is a night that we have the great zchus to pay tribute to a man who was a Talmud Chacham in his own right, to a man who was a balabas, who cared about learning, who dedicated his life to his family, to the Rabbi Shalom, to his kehillah, and he was a member of so many kehillas in the Hamptons, in Silver Spring, in Washington, D.C., here in Baltimore, and everywhere he went, he left his mark.
It's my great pleasure to welcome you all here today from near and far. I want to thank everybody for coming. I know it's difficult. Again, I want to thank you all for coming. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank Debbie and to thank Shuli and Adina. What you see, everything you see, is a group effort, especially on Debbie's part. I want to thank her for all her efforts.